shoes on. I was sitting downstairs in my chair in our house in Oregon. I had finished running the Phoenix Marathon for the 5th time about a month earlier, 2 months earlier. I was in still fairly good shape. And I was sitting on this chair, and I was struggling to get up and get out the door for a run. Now in Oregon, anybody ever been to Oregon in like springtime? It's either the best or the worst thing ever, right? The weather's either beautiful or it's like going on a 9-month consecutive of rain. This is one of the beautiful mornings. And the battle between the gears in my head was a fierce one. Get out that door, you'll feel great. Nope, it's gonna hurt. Yeah, but you'll feel fine. It's a beautiful morning. Yeah, it's cold, you're tired. Yeah, but trust me, you'll feel better. Just go. Just get out that door, start running down the driveway, you'll feel great. This conversation between myself and myself went on for 45 minutes. And it had happened before. It was happening with more frequency. But every time I'd gone out the door, man, 10 steps down the driveway, I'm good. My music's going, feeling great. That morning was different. 45 minutes I had this conversation with myself. I got up, walked to the stairs, past that front door, up the stairs, went back to my bedroom, took my shoes off, crawled back into bed, and just cried. I told my wife later that day, I think I'm struggling with depression. She said, I think you're right. And as I would get some help next couple, I'm very open about it. As I got some help the next couple of months, there were a number of factors that were probably involved. I hope I never feel that way again. That was a dark, dark place. Some of the factors included wasn't satisfied with my job. This was in May of 2017. Wasn't happy with my job. Wasn't satisfying. Didn't feel like it was going anywhere. Wasn't paying me very much. I topped out in the previous year at $53,000. Had 4 kids. We're not spenders, but we weren't making enough from the job to cover our monthly expenses. And our savings were going like this. And because I'm a math guy, I love math, and I was stressed over it, I knew the month that our savings would run out, and that I would be dipping into our retirement accounts to make our monthly expenses. And as a husband and a father, that was a tough pill to swallow. So I found myself in this place of something that I loved doing, something that I knew made me feel good, and maybe was masking it for longer than it maybe would have otherwise. I couldn't even do that anymore. That was a dark, dark place. Got some help. Thankfully, my wife's amazing. Other people around me. 3 months later, my wife and I are together, and just sitting quietly together. I said, do you feel what I'm feeling? He says, well, if you're feeling like we need to move to Utah, let's go. I said, yep, let's go. So the next small step was I gotta tell my dad. I mean, like, he's like planning to like turn his business over to me when he retires, which he never actually will. But and gotta tell my mom because like we got all the grandkids, and they only live 2 miles away from us. So we go through these small steps, and we put our house up on the market. We drive away from it to Utah. It's not sold. We live with my wife's aunt here in Salt Lake while we're trying to find a house here. I have a real estate license in my hand because I took the classes before we left. I got a license. I had no idea what to do with it or how to even sell real estate. I don't know anybody in this state other than a couple of family members on my wife's side. But we're going. We're going. I joined a team, great group of people, great group of guys. Our director of sales, Justin. I knew I wanted to buy real estate, but you switched to a 1099 job, lenders, 2 years, right? Tax returns, we run into this problem. I couldn't buy a property until 2020. So I'm having this conversation with Justin in 2019 and say, hey Justin, I want to buy property. I want to be an investor just like you, man. I said, and my problem is, I can see how to buy the first property. Like I have some money in my retirement account. I'm gone off to a pretty good start here on real estate. I'm feeling okay now. I can see how to buy the first one. I can probably even buy the second one, depending on the price point and things like that. I said, tell me, like, I don't understand. How do I buy the third and fourth and fifth properties? And Justin's a pretty intense guy. He cranks out about 60 deals a year on his own. He's a workaholic, love him to death. he got about this close and very firmly but lovingly said, I don't want to hear you talk about properties 3, 4, and 5 until you buy property number 1s. He turned around and left. He's like, oh, is that all? Is that all the advice I'm going to get? 28 months from that conversation, well, 28 months from the time I bought my first property, I've now bought 7 properties. I flipped one of them, I sold one, 1031 into another one, so I'm holding 5 right now. And I know what he means now. I couldn't see the path to number 5 when I was back at the beginning. But as I took one step, and in that step to one property was a lot of other steps, obviously, and then steps to the second property and the third property, my opportunities became clearer, my goals became clearer. And when opportunities came, I recognized them, and I moved on them. I knew what I was looking for. Because now I was down the path a number of steps. So, what I want to tell you is a couple things. One, I'm a regular guy. A regular guy investing in real estate. I don't know the path, but I take one step at a time.